Well, hello. I'm so excited. This has been ages since I had a Tuesday talk, 8 o'clock live. So I hope that some of you can join tonight, and I hope this is a preview of good things to come. So tonight, what I'm doing is prettying up a case. It's one of those cabinets that you get with the plastic drawers in it that sits on your workbench. Like mechanics use them for screws and all that good stuff. So I use mine for jewelry making. And so I have lots of little parts and pieces in them, but it's not very attractive. So I want to make it look kind of cool. So I'm using StreamYard now. Just want to show you I have a new channel member today. So Lauren Wilson. And I'm going to have to start recognizing everybody. If you come on, say hi, and, feel free to comment. I'd love to chat with you tonight while I'm crafting. So, does anybody have these little, I actually have a little trick here. Present slides. This is funny. I was going to present a picture of my little thing, but I can't figure out how to do it. So I'm going to have to figure that out. Okay, so anyway, it's got lots of little drawers in it. So what my plan is to use, hey, it's Dar. So I'm trying to figure out how to be as cool as you and present, because I saved something in there, but I can't figure out how to do it. So, anyway, these little drawers, we're going to take and make them pretty. So I want to use reverse decoupage. Okay, media assets. Dar's helping me along as I go. Oh, I see it. Okay, so this is what that cabinet looks like. It's just this part right in here. Not a very good picture, but I want to get rid of all this stuff too. So I just want to make it look prettier for sure. Okay. And let's see how we get rid of. Okay. Hide. Okay. All right. We'll get this. We will get this. And I have us mixed up. Okay, someone left and said that's a total novice. This isn't worth watching. Anyway, we're going to get into the good stuff. So, as you probably know, I'm a Made by Marley brand ambassador. So, I'm going to use lots and lots of scraps of decoupage paper, and I'm going to do like a reverse decoupage. So, okay, comments. All right, thanks, Dar. I got that figured out. So what I did on this one, I don't know if you can see it. You might be able to see it better under here. What I did was reverse decoupage. So in other words, I have a piece of paper cut here, and I'm going to put it in here so you'll be able to see through it. This is just plastic, but then we're going to add a little nameplate. So we're going to be using IOD molds to do that. Okay, so I have one that is drying, and we'll get to that in a little bit. So I am totally cheating and not doing what you would do for decoupage, but I have seen a couple DIYers do this recently, and I decided I was going to give it a whirl. They're using glue sticks just when it's a light paper. And in this case, it doesn't have to be sealed or anything. It's just to make the inside of my drawer a little more attractive. So all I'm doing is doing a glue stick. Now, the DIYers that I have seen do it, they are sealing theirs. So they're going to the other side, and they're using a medium like Mod Podge or some other sort of sealer. So I'm just putting this in here. and just kind of lining it up until it looks good and flattening it out. So I think this is all I really need for my little cabinet. Okay, so I could seal that from the back side if I wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. So I have been fooling around here with some molds and 2 cameras. Okay. Been fooling around with some molds, and this one is from the Frames 2 mold, I believe, which reminds me, all I can say is IOD Spring Collection. Be there. Check it out when it comes out. But this one, I decided these little molds would work. And then the other mold that I used was from, this is Apothecary Labels. And there's a real little one here. And I think these ones would fit too. So we'll have some fun with these. So what I'm doing with these is I'm just using regular Elmer's glue. And I'm putting it pretty good all over it. I'm taking a paintbrush to spread the glue around. So, Jar, you're the only person watching tonight. So what are you doing? What do you have going on besides watching me? Hope you're doing some crafting along with me. Okay, and I'm going to add just a little reinforcement. And I'm using a little E6000. And I'm just squeezing a little bit of that on either end. I just want to make double sure. This tube's almost empty here. And am I using 2 cameras? I'm using my laptop for me, and I'm using my phone for my project. And I invited my phone via Facebook Messenger to join, and I accepted my invitation. That one's kind of empty, so we're going to get rid of that one. I have another one here. It's kind of like when you're crafting and you use some hot glue along with some other glue just to give it a more of a quick hold. So that's kind of what this the E6000 is doing for this. And I'm just not pressing too hard because I don't want to get rid of all those impressions. Not sure, Dara. I don't think so, because I have sort of a plan behind a little method to my madness with these videos. So I kind of want them to just be live. But eventually they'll be so that channel members can come back and watch at any time. Okay, so I want to try some different patterns. So I'm going to use this really pretty kind of lotus kind of temple thing happening down at the bottom. So Dar is, if anyone else comes on to watch, Dar is one of the Flippin' Bunch, and we have our live tomorrow night. So Dar's been really taking hold. We use a program called StreamYard, and that allows us a couple streams and all kinds of things. I was going to also broadcast to Facebook tonight, but I really just got this account set up and I hurried quickly to do a few things. So I didn't get that accomplished yet. Let me see here. I do have my little logo I can put up in the corner. Isn't that cute? So tomorrow night, our guest is going to be Cheryl Wall from Lifestyle of a DIYer, another YouTube channel. So us girls at the Flippin' Bunch are going to pick her brains because she has a successful YouTube channel. Okay, so these things already are full of stuff. I've been using them. So I just want to make sure that all of this stuff that's in here is really the same stuff that it says it is. And they're not. These are spacer beads, and these are the button backs. And then these are little carabiners. Oh my gosh, I have so much stuff that I need to do. But the biggest thing, I'm going to set these over here because I'm really going to try to organize this stuff too. Not all tonight. I'm just doing some crafty stuff with it tonight. But I think I'm going to keep them in the bag for the moment. But these are tie backs. So these are always fun things to do with molds. And then you can just glue them on the tie backs with E6000. You could even do like these, or you could do the cameos. There's so many things you can do with molds. I get inspired all the time. So anyway, we're going to use this one. And we're going to kind of measure. I just roughly guessed the size based on the last one. So I'm just holding it in here. And just folding and cutting. So I'm going to use this sort of as a template. So I know I can cut a couple at a time. I love this paper. Oh, so pretty. So I love borders. And this is a super great way to use up scraps. Just stuff like this. And I've told you before, obviously I make jewelry, or I wouldn't be organizing jewelry making things. But yeah, that's where I was going with it. But anyway, it's just so easy to use molds or the 2-part epoxy, depending on what you're going for. Obviously, the 2-part epoxy is going to be a little more sturdy, I think, in the long run. I do paint over a lot of them too. Use some of the metallics and use the patina paints and stuff. So again, I'm just using an Elmer's glue stick, and I glued the wrong side because this is reverse decoupage. So if I were going to do this on the outside, because you know what the heck, I will. I'm going to do that. I don't usually ever stop what I'm doing. I usually just figure out how to make it work. So that's what we'll do. We'll put it on the outside on this one. And this is okay. We can do whatever we want, right? I mean, it's my toolbox. I don't think anybody's going to come in and chastise me for doing this. I'm a little crooked, so I'm going to move it over. I hope everybody's having a good week. It was terribly windy here. It seems to have died down a little bit. And don't forget, I'm at home, so if my dog starts barking, please forgive. I'll mute if that happens. Okay, so like I said, once it's in the frame, it'll be fine. These are actually more vibrant, but I kind of feel the need to seal over top of this if I'm going to do that. But either way, I have another one of these cut out, so I'm just going to put it on there. And we're moving right along. You're painting a storage box. You have the same borders cut out right now. Oh, cool. Great minds think alike. I feel like I haven't gotten any projects done to speak of as far as for Made by Marley, but I have a big one that I have coming up. I started on my channel the bench project out of the headboard. So it's finally constructed thanks to my son. He really helped me out. And so I'm going to be using that. I'm going to be doing some big decoupage, bold designs, and that's going to be a lot of fun. So recently got back from a trip to Las Vegas and out west, and I did share that video on my channel. Took all kinds of cool pictures, and I got so inspired. I got inspired sitting on the plane. I got a couple magazines that I was looking at, so that was my first inspiration for some projects here at home. But then, so many things that I saw just inspired me. So, super excited to make some of the things that I've been planning on doing come to fruition. Okay, I'm going to revisit my first one here. I forgot it had stuff in it. This is going to be a fun job getting all this stuff back out. Okay, so this is sort of like has a crust on it, so it's gotten a little bit hardened. These two are still pretty soft. I'm going to let them go a little bit. So Dar, it's just you and me. I think I like putting them inside better, but for the sake of consistency, I am going to do another one like that. Just so it doesn't look weird just to only have one. So I also have some of these little drawers, and I'm going to do a couple of them too. I'm not going to do all of them because there's like maybe 15 of those. So, and inside mine, I have even more. So, and this stuff, it might look like it's organized, but it's really not. I might just say miscellaneous on this one because there's jump rings, there's crimp beads, there's all kinds of stuff in here, little spacers. Yeah. I love working with jewelry. So many things I haven't been able to do for a while, and it's nice to finally be getting around to doing some. I do have some client work that I need to do, but it'll get done, but I'm just happy to be able to do this. So I'm going to do this one on the outside again since I goofed and did that one on the outside. And I think we're going to have to make a new mold for this one. Oh, I was using the glue stick, wasn't I? I can read comments, of course, but no one can yell at me. If somebody needs to yell, stop, what are you doing? But, it's glue, right? So it's all glue. Maybe that'll just help hold it better. I like these silicone mats, too. Get those from Amazon. I get them for doing classes and workshops. So I have a couple workshops listed on my Facebook page. And one of them is a Mardi Gras mask. And one of them is birdhouses that are being done with paint inlays. Then the other one's an ugly chair party. We have those every now and then, and basically that is beginner's furniture painting. We cover painting, sealing, and distressing in that workshop. Trying again to get this even. And I'm just kind of going with the curves on the bottom. Try to get something flat under there. Yeah, these are the only two that I'm going to put the paper on the outside. Do something different here. All right. So we have 3 that'll be ready for painting here shortly. And let me make another mold. I have, let's see, we'll do 4 big drawers, and then we'll see where we're at with everything. So I'm going to make another mold, and I don't know whether this olive leaf or olive crest one is too big or not. That one's really pretty. Let's see. I think we can make it work. So let me move that out of the way. And I always keep a brush inside the cornstarch, and it's always ready to go. Now you could certainly do this with Amazing Casting Resin or Let's Resin or one of those. Whenever I am pouring, I always have extra because I don't measure. And I poured a couple extra of these from the apothecary molds. So I could use some of those. I don't know if you can see the detail in that. But they weren't poured really well. I'd have to heat them in order to get them to bend and conform to the shapes of these. That's kind of what I like about using air dry clay. It conforms to the shape. So Dar, I can say this even if this video lives on, and it will. So what my plan is I'm going to do these lives every week for a while, for a couple months. And then my hope is that then I'm going to make them exclusive for channel members. So then pretty soon that'll be paid content. So that's why I'm doing some couple months free, and then it'll be $4.99 a month after that. Except for grandfathered channel members like yourself, which it would be only 99 cents a month. If everything works the same way that I think it will in my mind. Went with my friend today. She's still kind of getting stuff moved out of her house. And so that's kind of like an hour-long ride, but we had fun. We had lunch. I've been doing a lot of luncheons since I am not working so much. But I am still busy. You know, I'm keeping myself busy doing this kind of stuff because I want to, you know, do more of this kind of stuff. And also I have custom orders to do. So I have to make furniture pieces to sell and also custom orders. And sometimes it's just fun to play with clay instead of pouring and all that. That's fun too, but getting your hands in the clay is fun. There, that's a pretty one. Okay, so we are going to use glue on the back of this, along with a little bit of E6000. So is it still snowing there, Dar? Did it ever stop? Still snowing. Oh, girl. Do you ever want to move somewhere warm? Guess anywhere you go, there's going to be something that's Not a good feature, right? Doctor told you to. Yep. That's Tom ran into his doctor somewhere and he asked him how he was doing, and he told Tom, move to Arizona. Okay, I don't think it matters whether I do it one way or another, because I kind of shoved that up in there and I probably would have made that the top, but it's okay. Because these are just going to be silly, but I'm going to only do 4 of these so I can show you how I finish them, because it's already 8:26, so I don't want to keep you guys all night. So anyway, I keep forgetting that this is the camera that I want to show it to. So this one kind of pretty much covers that up. So I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to put this in a bag so it doesn't dry out. I hate plastic noise. Does anybody else hate plastic noise? It's like a pet peeve. You were told to go to Arizona. Yeah, I can see that. You drop off whenever. Oh. You mean when it's your time? It's your time? Is that what you mean? I have some Silk Endless Shore here that I forgot I sort of opened, so I almost shook it and spilled it. Okay. Oh, my stream. Oh boy, that's not good. Hopefully it's just wind still. Hopefully we won't do that tomorrow night. Okay, so this wasn't the very first one I did, but I'm just going to take some paint. Just go real close to the edges and real light. And this is Endless Shore. It's a silk paint. This doesn't have to be perfect because it's a light color anyway. I just want to cover basically this part because I want to do some stamping on that. Because it's such a similar color to the clay, I'm okay with letting the clay dry without paint. That way I don't risk getting paint on the decoupage paper either. So I'm going to keep these standing up because I know what gravity is like sometimes. Boy, do I. No, but it just makes sense to keep it in this direction because if you put it on its side, then gravity will weigh it down. Okay, now that one I did get some paint on there, but because the paper's on the inside, I can just wipe it right off. And that is probably the better thing to do. But again, this isn't like a toolbox. It's just for my jewelry. So, I mean, it's gonna not get the same kind of wear and tear that it would get in a garage with tools. I do also have some glaze to kind of make this look a little old-fashioned. You don't have to use these. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can get. I think they're called library file labels or something like that. There's so many different kinds. I might have some here to show you. Possibly. I have a lot of things surrounding me right now. I used to do these lives every week, every Tuesday, like I'm planning on doing here in the future, starting now. Um, but yeah, it was always a lot of fun. And sometimes weeks were like this, where you only had one person, and then other times had a nice little chat going on. So people come and go if you're not doing their thing. So the next thing I was thinking of doing, I know IOD has all kinds of letter stamps, but none of them are really little. And I got these at Michael's. There's uppercase and there's lowercase, and I love these because they're nice and small. If you can see, oops, StreamYard is always like backwards. So there's that one, and then there's the lowercase, which I use a lot. So what's cool about them is they all like link together, so you can't mess them up. It's hard to open the box, but get this. Oh my gosh. Somehow this is taped. No, the bottom isn't. If you're joining in, just feel free to say hi. All right. So see how these are all hooked together? They're so much fun to use. So I am going to say this was the first one I had, and it had cord end caps in it. Which way am I going? So in other words, crimping beads. So that's what I'm going to call, maybe I'll just call it end caps. I'm trying to think how to put it on here and to make sure it fits on there. So we'll try doing end caps and see if that fits. Or I could say crimpers. Maybe I'll do that. That'd be easier. So let's get a C. There's the I. After you're done, it's, you got to put it back together, but the M and the P are actually together. Okay, so we're looking for the R, which we have here. Does anybody have these? Is that a C? Yeah. Crimp. Give me an E. I'm going to need this R, and I'm going to need this S. Oops. I don't think that was supposed to happen. I think I just pulled the letter off there, but I think I can fix it. Yeah, all good. That was easy. That's the one I want to use. Okay. Crimp. So I need an E because I have the R and the S here. Let's see if there's an E. I don't want to take them all apart. Oh well, I guess I'm going to have to. You would think there'd be more E's than this. By the time I am done putting these together, the paint will be dry. Okay, so that's crimpers. And is it going to fit? Barely. It barely will fit. I think that does need to dry a little bit more. So what we'll do is figure out the rest of the stamps that we want to put on there. Okay, so we've what are these tie tacks? Tie bars? Okay, so hopefully I have enough letters to do all this. I could do some caps if I had to. I'll need that E and that A. Because you can hook the first line and the second line together too. Do you have these, Dar? I get so much at Michael's. It's very convenient for me to shop online and just go pick it up in the store, because all you do is walk in and just pick it up. Like, you don't even have to talk to anybody, because some days you just don't want to talk to people. Tie. I need an I. They are nice. I do like them. Here's an I. Yes, they do, because they all hook together. So on this one, there's 2 lines. So here's the word crimpers ready to go. So they're all hooked together, so they're going to stay together. That's what the other side looks like, the inky side. And then this one, I'll be putting them 3 across. I just stamped, where is it? Stamped them and then I left them. I did those little couple jars. So wipe clean with damp cloth. They came out pretty good. I was going to put a transfer on there because the jars had transfers on them. Thought it would be cute. Trying to be cute in my booth. Hopefully I'm going to have enough letters to hook together here. I might have to do crimpers first and then get some of my letters back. Okay, now I'm just making a mess. So I'm going to get some of this stuff out of my way, some of these letters, and I'm going to stamp crimpers. Okay, so my black ink. I think my ink pad is pretty juicy, as they say, so want to make sure these are all, these fit together nicely, all my ink pads. So. Boy, my lid is cracked on that one. All right, so trying to do this so you can see it. I'm gonna ink up. Ha! You ask if they stay together. Okay. All right, here goes nothing. I have to do this light because the paint's kind of still wet and the mold's kind of still. Oh, wow, that looks cute. Look at that. I love it because it also kind of impressed in the clay a little bit. So that is cute. So I'm going to let that dry. I love it. I kind of got a double impression on there because I went back and forth. I sort of rocked it a little bit, but I love it. I know I'm weird, but I thought it was cute. Thanks, Star. Okay, so again, we're doing tie bar. on this one. So now let's get my letters together. So I need this I, and then it's real easy to get ink on yourself using these. I try to wipe them off. Well, I guess I'm not trying too hard, am I? Okay, so I have the word tie. Now I need to do bars. There's an R. Time is 8:41. So A. Come on, where's a B? Give me a B. Here's a B. Okay, B, A, R probably should be S because there isn't just one in there. All right, give me an S. Here's an S. All right. So now we have tie bars. So when I have two rows, I usually just always put them together at the beginning. Okay, so here we go again. We're going to stamp tie bars. All right. Here we go again. Okay, this one, I don't hate it. I did get some ink around the outside, but I think it's kind of cute. It looks like an old ink press, that's what it is, like a publisher's kind of thing. If this is making any sense. I like it though. I think it's really cute. Okay, so I may have to rethink the glue stick. I might have to come in with some more glue because this corner is kind of peeling. So I'm just using some of the Elmer's here in the corner. There's so many different kinds of glue in the world, isn't there? Okay, so I'm going to leave that again standing up. And okay, we'll take our big one and do miscellaneous. We'll just do MISC. Dar, has it been windy where you are? Okay, one more letter. I have to find an M. And we found one. Pretty bad, yeah. Okay, so we have this big one that we're doing miscellaneous. You probably could wipe some of the outside of it. I kind of liked that look because you sort of have to rock it a little bit because you're going into that clay. I love it. I think it looks so cute. I love that little outline you get. Okay, so I should think of one more thing. Clips. I'll say clips because that could stand for the carabiners because this is kind of a small frame, so we want a small word. And then I really will put in each one what belongs in it. Really, I will. Okay, what did I say? Clips. Well, ink all over me. You know, I don't know that I'll ever remind myself to put gloves on. Just isn't me. CL. So I need the L. Where is the L? You never wear them gloves. Yeah, it's just too much fun to just get right in there. Consequently, my hands always look like this then. And I tried to do my nails today too, you know. I might be able to get it off. Depends on what I'm doing. Now, if I'm working with stain, usually I'm smart enough to put gloves on. And I'll be doing that tomorrow. All right, so I have the word clips, and I'm gonna stamp that, and again, I think that is turning out so cute. I'm excited about this thing now. Let's see, it's 8:48, so we have a little bit of time left to do a couple small ones. So try to get some of this out of my way. So I have one that's ring blanks. So I also have some scraps. I mean, these are all made by Marley paper scraps. And, you know, I have this one that ends up like this, you know, so, and I yell at people for cutting wrapping paper like that. So, but this time I have a good use for it. So I'm just going to cut that off there and kind of measure it up. And it's, like I said, you don't have to be exact. This is just a quick, really cute fix. How about I cut it? My dog is in the room in case you hear the pitter patter of little feet. Okay, so this time I'm going to remember to put the glue on the right side, which is the right side, because I'm doing basically reverse decoupage, even though it's just on these little plastic workbench boxes. Nothing fancy, but we're making it fancy. So I'm just putting this down in here. And again, I could seal this, and I probably should, and I possibly might. I'll let you know how elaborate I get with it and how it holds up. So that's in there. And if you wanted to sand some of this back, you could do that too. But we're not being real particular. Now I want to probably get the smallest of all. Now, you know what? I could do something different too, possibly. I was thinking how I could put letters on there. Nothing's, the thing is, it has to be small. So let's see what we've got. I think my best chance at getting something is in here, but maybe not. Let's see, what else do we have? I'm losing letters. My dog thinks it's something to eat. I don't think there's anything here that's small enough either. Okay, so what we're going to do is improvise, and we'll take the smallest one in width. Oh, maybe we can just use that intersection of this one. I don't think it'll go the whole way across, but maybe we'll try to see if we can marry it together. Or maybe this little section here. Let's try that. Okay, I better put my lid on my ink. My paint I'm leaving out because I'll have to paint this little thing. But my ink will dry up if I do that. Okay, so what are we doing? We're doing this little section in here. And putting a lot of cornstarch in there. I don't know if this is going to work, but that's how we roll, right? Just have a little bit of the clay, probably too much. I'm going to take a little bit off. This is a lot different than doing the normal mold because the normal mold has the sides that catch the clay. This is going to work, but I just have to work with it a little bit. Can't keep working all that cornstarch into the clay because it dries it. Now, one thing I can do, and maybe would be the smartest thing to do in this case, is to just take it out of here and then cut it, because I think I'll do a better job. So I'm going to drop the mold out of here. We lost a little bit, but that's okay. My workspace still isn't big enough. It's never big enough for a live. Get some of this clay in here before it all dries up. And I thought I had a little knife in there. You should. Okay, I don't see them. So I'm just going to use my fingers here. And I'm just going to go along this frame here. Okay, so we've got basically one side of it, and we can smooth this out. And a little knife would have probably worked better, but this isn't working out too badly. Okay, so the rest of this stuff up here is just kind of frilly stuff, and I have extra frilly stuff here, so get rid of that. I think it looks pretty good. I'll show you a close-up as soon as I get it on here. All right, let me get rid of that and that. All right, so we're using the Elmer's for this. And I do have a brush here. Get it out to the sides, and I hope this one isn't too big. I think it'll work. And I've been putting an extra dab of E6000 on it just to hold it, but seem to have lost that. So these are all like little filigree ring blanks in here. It's like that. You just glue something on them. Okay, so let's see. This looks almost a little too long. So if it is, which I'm thinking it is, I think what we'll do is be daring, and I really do need to get a little knife for this. And I'm going to cut it in the middle. I'll use a, pardon my arm. This probably isn't going to be very accurate, but let's take the middle here and then just cut a little bit more and a little bit more. And then we'll join these two together on here. That's what you do with clay. Because you can. Okay, it's not perfect, but we can still work with it. I can take the end of my brush and just smooth that out there. Squish it down. Bring it down a little farther. It's smoothed out pretty nicely. All right. Okay, I'm going to put a little paint on here. Hopefully it'll dry. I have a blow dryer in the next room, but I'm going to I just want a little bit of paint on here. So that's what that's looking like. All right, so the last thing we were putting on here is for rings. So small thing should be an easy word to put on here. So let's get that put together. I have these everywhere now, and I'm going to be picking them up for a while and putting them back together. It's almost like a Rubik's Cube. You don't have to do it alphabetically. You just have to make sure that you've got the whole thing fitting together. So I'm going to throw these guys in the garbage just because they have glue in them and they're clay, and next thing you know, I'll be having them all over me. Okay, here's G. There's going to be more on the floor. Okay. S. Putting it in. You know it. Sorry, guys, I had no idea what I'd be spelling out beforehand, or I would have gotten some of them pulled. All right. RINGS. So we'll have to follow up with this on my community page and on my social media. I will definitely put a picture of the finished work. And you can see how you can make something that's kind of boring and so really cute. I think before we go, what I might do is also take a little, the glaze and do a little bit around the edges to bring the details out in the molds. Okay, this is still wet. I am a total rebel here. But it worked out pretty good. You can pretty much see that says rings. Kind of, sort of. Okay. A little wipe here. Clean things up a little bit and then make another mess real quick. It is 9:01. That's all right. We'll be done in a few minutes. Okay, so I have some Van Dyke Brown glaze in this. That's exactly the brush I wanted. In this little pot. And you could probably use a little water, but I have some wet wipes here. So we'll go to the first one we did, I think, was crimpers. And I'm just going to take that glaze and go over those edges just to make those little details in the molds stand out. And then I'm going to take this wet wipe over it. So I had some like in the middle there where I didn't want it. I was actually able to wipe it back. I think that looks really good. And last thing, if we wanted to be really fancy, I'm opening with caution. If you ever saw my Hi-Ho Silver TikTok video. Okay, so I'm just putting, along with everything else on my fingertip, there's all kinds of stuff. Where's my fingertip? But I did put some bronze gilding wax too. Nothing real shiny or anything, but it's just bringing out and giving a little bit of sheen in some of those detailed areas. I think it kind of framed it out pretty nicely. What do you think? All right. Well, that's it for me this evening. So I promise I'd only keep you for an hour. I appreciate you joining, Dar, and whoever else was on at any time. And keep showing up. We're going to keep doing this. So if you have any requests of any projects you'd like to see, I'd be happy to do them. And also join tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, along with the Flippin' Bunch. And we're going to have special guest Cheryl Wall from Lifestyle of a DIYer. So please join us, the Flippin' Bunch, and we'll see you here tomorrow night at 7. And I hope everybody has a good evening. Thanks, Star. She said nice flips. All right. See you guys. Have a good night.